Good evening, VPG. Thursday night, it is the last VPG stream of the week, which means where have you been all week if you've not seen any? And if you have seen any, then you know that this week has been an absolute banger, same as last week actually, and to be fair, all of the other streams before, but I'm obviously biased, so I would say that. But in particular, this week has been quality, and to be fair, with the games we've got tonight, we should be in for an absolute blockbuster. So let's go, let's do around the houses, let's see what's cooking tonight. Match number 1, Heritage taking on EXITO. That is second plays first respectively in the UK Premier, that top league in VPG UK. What on earth are you doing here in the chat, mens? What are you doing here? Do you not have some games to play? Game number 2, before we get into that one, which is due in about 30 seconds. Wizardry taking on BLACKSHEEP again. That is 4th plays 5th in that UK Premier. Promised you bangers. That's what you're getting tonight. Moving over then to the big dogs. It's a Super Cup. It is technically a Super Cup because Digital Esports won the Europa League on Wednesday, and obviously everyone knows XTENTATION won the Champions E-League. So Champions E-League winners playing Europa League winners. Didn't even mean it, but here it is. And last but certainly by no means least, it is the last game of the week, and it is Class hosting AC STRENUA. And again, it's Esports Premier action live. It's the last one of the week, so I've been assured they're saving the best till last. Saving the best till last. 4 bangers for you, as per usual. Let's see where both of these sides are, because they've got 1 minute to kick off. Naughty boys, naughty boys. Just checking Discord now. No, they're not ready, so we can talk a little bit about these two. So EXITO currently sit top of the table despite that loss last week against Prolific, that 1-0. Heritage also been beaten on stream by Prolific. So these two have got something in common at least. It's not a very good thing in common, but at least Prolific are not playing tonight, so they should be safe. Like I said, second plays first, just the 3 losses between them in 19 games in the UK Premier. So 2 sides who are used to winning. And speaking of being used to winning, Heritage, of course, are the defending, reigning champions of the UK Prem. So expect big things from those. But like I said, EXITO are currently top of that league, and being top of the leagues is something that Lewis FIFA is good at, because he is top of the goal scoring league at the moment. Just the 16 goals in his first just under 3 weeks. 16 and 12 for that man. EXITO unbeaten in 6, scoring 13 with 4 clean sheets as well. So they're not just goal scoring machines, they can also defend as well. As for Heritage then, 2 losses in 4. Before that, I think it says on my notes, I can't even read my own writing. Before that, they were unbeaten in 8. So just falling off slightly at the moment. The Don Unsal sitting in cam tonight is their highest rated player. He's got 4 assists so far this season. And Harry Newman, again, he's having a solid season. It was Teagues' breakout season last season. Harry Newman is leading the way for Heritage in the goal scoring charts. 5 goals, 4 assists. Teagues, though, quickly catching him up after this week. He's on 4 with the 1 assist as well. So a strike partnership of dreams on both sides, because Smudge has gone back up front for Lewis, and I don't need to remind you what happened the last time those two played up front together. It was last season, and they scored, I think it was it? Oh, Smudge has been playing in centre midfield, so he's made me forget the stat. But effectively, both of them scored a lot of goals, and now they're both playing up front again together. So let's see what damage they can do. And I do believe everyone's going to have to re-lobby. So I say we're in no rush. We're always in a rush, but EA never seem to be in a rush. So I literally, you can't see it because my stupid face is in the way, but the countdown clock behind this is at 30 seconds right now, which has literally never happened. We're finding new ways to break the game, ladies and gentlemen. It does give me a little bit more of a chance to talk about these two sides in a bit more detail because I've not been able to yet. Dizzying goal for EXITO as per usual. That back three, I don't want to say it's our strongest back three because I don't want to disrespect anyone, but it's a very strong back three. I think it might be their preferred back three. It's going to be difficult to keep Harry Newman and Teagues out, but hopefully for EXITO's point of view, and if you're an EXITO fan, they watched what Prolific did to these guys last week. They managed to shut them out and forced Harry Newman to drop so deep that every time he did pick up the ball, he was 50-60 yards away from goal. I think that is a good way of dealing with that front three anyway. And EXITO should be looking to do that today. My worry is Smudger's not in centre midfield and Yayan's gone into Cam. They're the two in that centre midfield who they have got the know-how, they have got the tactical nous, and more importantly, they've got the discipline to do that job, which not many people want to do in competitive pro clubs. So look, Sean R, we know, is a very good player. Tricky, we've not seen too much of this season. I'm sure they would have been briefed beforehand. And then Sam and Chris on either side. Hey, two of the best wide midfielders in the league. So, GG's. Speaking of wide midfielders, Lucas is back in the fray. A player we haven't seen for a little while. I'm not sure if he's been playing and we've just missed him. Like 2 ships in the night, but he's back in. Good to see that. Jay Hutch and Brookie, 2 quality CDMs, and they need to gonna be on their highest form because, again, like I said, that front three, stopping the balls into Lewis FIFA's feet and Smudge's feet from Yayan is gonna be #1 priority. They like to keep it on the deck, EXITO. They like to play it into those 2 strikers, and they've got the ability to hurt you if you don't do that. Right, just checking on where these invites are because that took I always say these sides know what they're doing when they need to kind of regroup and get back in. That one took a little bit longer than I expected, but I can confirm they are back in now. Other than that, I think we've gone around the house. I think I've said everything I need to say, which is really good because, as you can see, we're picking some kits. EXITO in a Fulham kit. Once again, I don't... oh, no, I was told why that is. MXCR works for Fulham. I'm not sure if I should be disclosing that on live stream. Someone did it before me. No, someone told me in the chat. So, sorry if we're accidentally dossing someone on live stream. Apologies. Right. Doxing aside. Let's do this. Let's do this. First game of the night. The first stream of the week. We have been active this week. You are welcome. Here we go then. It is league leaders. EXITO in the white Fulham kit is them, yeah. Taking on Heritage / Galatasaray, which is why they're in the all black Galatasaray kit. They are the UK Premier Champions. And we're seeing this quite often now, this volley from centre-back. It seems to work quite a lot of the time. I mean, Tuesday night we had 3 goals in quick succession, all within the first 2 minutes. And I tell you what, we've struggled with this stream before, so we'll stay on this until we get kicked off it. In the meantime, here is the Don. We know he's got a pass in him. Finds Harry Newman, lays it off to Teagues, near post. It's going to fall back to Harry Newman. He's red-timed it, and Dorse is there to complete the clearance. Slightly gilt-edged. At this level, it's slightly gilt-edged, and everyone stopped because he's kept it in, although he's not moving anymore. There he is back. He couldn't believe that he'd kept it in, clearly. Yayan, the cam for tonight, dropping awfully short. EXITO from the back to Sean R. Sam goes back, but it's loose. Are they going to keep it in? No, they're not. And that's why it was loose, because it was a deflection. No need to panic, EXITO. Played 10, won 8, drawn 1, lost 1. EXITO's record so far this season, that one loss, just that one loss against Prolific on stream. So EXITO might say we're their bad luck charm. But immediately after that game, they went and won 3-2 on stream against Aaron Delos' Focus. So we can't be that bad luck. Good touch from Texi. Smudger, though. We spoke about this EXITO press last time these boys were on the stream. And that's with Smudger playing in centre midfield. He's now playing up front, so he's more of a trigger rather than an enforcer. But it's his side. He is the gaffer. So if he says press, you bet this EXITO side are going to press. And it worked very, very well in that Focus game for sure. And they seem to be press heavy here. Exhibit A, Sean R with the intercept plus on. Chris C skins his man, goes near post to Luis FIFO, works himself a yard, gives it to Yeyan, who looked for his gaffer, couldn't find his feet. All came from Sean, winning it high up. Here is Chris again. Yeyan back to Sean, who's having a good game, finds Lewis's feet. It's 6s and 7s in the box. It's going to fall to Yeyan. Blocked. Lucas is there with the clearance. Sean keeps it alive. What a first half he's having. Dawes, the big centre back. And splits two men going across the pitch. I like it. Fair enough. Yeyan slides it into Luis FIFO. Goes near post. Zinni is there. Called upon early doors and makes the stop. This EXITO side are free flowing at the moment. Brookie holds off the press. They're going to need to do that, to be fair. They're going to need to keep doing that because this EXITO side do not let you relax on the ball. That being said, Jay has had a very long time to pick that pass, and pick that pass he does. Brad gets to the byline, goes near post. Dawes is there with an acrobatic clearance. I like that. Second time of asking. Scissor kicks it off. It's like a WWE move. Sean with the clearance. Good work from Luis FIFO again. Pressing in bunches. The Don having to drop onto the halfway line just to touch the ball. There's Harry Newman. Can't take it under a spell. Good work from MXCR. EXITO coming out with the ball once more. The lively Chris C. Sean, best player on the pitch at the moment. Luis FIFO, good turn. Gives it to Chris C, who's on the overlap this time. Texi does the business. Brad draws in the foul. Good play from him, and rightly so. Free kick. I mean, they've played it into touch. Wasted opportunity to get something cooking there for Heritage. But here is the Don. If you need something cooking, you give it to that man. Brad on the overlap once again. Cuts it back to Brookie. Not sure he expected it there. Gives it to Brad. Might just swap this stream over at halftime. Bear with me. The Don wins it high up, but it will be a throw-in. He's not been able to keep that one in. Chris fakes the throw, but immediately gives it back. And here we go. Edge of the box is Teagues. Still got it. Tries to go near post again. The second time Heritage have tried to keep it on the deck. I'm not sure Harry or Teagues have got particularly tall striker builds. Harry goes near post once more. That's 3 from 3. Let's see if they change it up a little bit here as MXCR hits the deck. I think he collided with his own goalkeeper. Edge of the box it goes. There is Jay with the header straight through to Dizzy, who immediately goes to this far side, finds his skipper Smudger, but Hutch is there, one of the best in the business in that CDM position. Gives it to Teagues, who gives it to the Dom. Operating very, very deep at the moment. Jay. A few twists and turns on it. Diego's not a player I recognise. He's slotting in at left centre-back tonight. Heritage, shades of that Prolific game where they just struggle to get things going. I tell you what, Dizzy's come a very long way. It's not locked on. Brad's got the goal at his mercy. Chris does well, immediately clears it. And I tell you what, that clearance has turned into a good ball to Luis FIFO, who gets it under his spell. Good touch, turns. Chris, edge of the box, it goes to Sean, but the pass didn't have the pace on it, and he had to wait for it. But Dizzy, it was a good decision to come for it, but I don't think EA locked him on properly to it. But he had to ride a couple of tackles there. Good work from Chris C in the end. Minute before half-time, is there going to be first half drama? Diego steps in, but is immediately dispossessed by that press once more. And no, there is going to be no drama. And to be honest, it was a game of few chances so far. I genuinely think, especially when you get first place, second, or top of the table clashes like this one, teams tend to just cancel each other out a little bit. And I do think that is what's happened here. And it's you can see both sides are trying to play through the thirds, which is really good. More so EXITO, and I think EXITO have had the better joy in doing it. And if I had to put my house on a team breaking the deadlock first, I think it would be EXITO based on what I've just seen. However, EXITO Heritage have got the players to break the deadlock, but also they've looked dangerous when they have gone direct. And again, I'm going to put that down more to the intelligence of the balls over the top, intelligence of the runners in behind. But it's just something for EXITO just to be a little bit wary of, because I think if I was Smudge, I'd have one eye on that. I think definitely one eye. I did have a look at changing the stream over. Sean's not streaming tonight for some reason, and the other one's in 720p. So here is Smudger. Drops the shoulder, goes near post. Inches wide. Almost a goal early in the second half. Wasn't to be. The gaffer of EXITO. League leaders EXITO. Luis FIFA with acres to run into, and he obliges. Cuts back very early though. Defender read it. Good work. It's now 3v3 if Brad can get past this man. Instead comes back again. Gives it to the Don, who is literally playing on the halfway line. We know he can pick a pass. We know he can pick a 50, 60 yard pass as well. But he does his best work 30, 40 yards from goal. And we've very rarely seen him there. Harry Newman takes that down nicely. Gives it to the overlapping Lucas. Breaks into the box. First time ball in. Had a bit of extra room to run into. Decided not to take it. I was going to say it's dummied by the centre half. Picked up by Jack Hutch. Gives it to the Don. This is where he does his work. Harry Newman cuts inside. Right foot deflected over the crossbar. And that's what I was saying, boys and girls. Give the Don the ball. 30, 40 yards. Watch him cook. Slide rule pass. Harry Newman cuts inside to that favoured right foot. Good block, though. I think it was the cameraman, MXCR. Ball comes in. Dorse with the sliding clearance. I like that. Brookie keeps it alive, though. Brad swings in. The goalkeeper's coming for it, and he will pluck it out of the air, stealth roll on the floor, and ping it 70 yards up the field. Off the pitch. Techie down the line it goes. Picked back up, and back it goes to the throw-in taker. Both sides had some good chances in this second half. We thought something had to give. Ball through to no avail. I tell you what, Zinni had a lot to do there, because we've seen a lot of goals go in recently with some weird deflections where it's not giving the goalkeeper the animation. He just had to watch that one. He dived on it. I like it. Better safe than sorry. Brookie into Teagues' feet, who's been very quiet by his high standards. Looked for the ball over the top. Didn't get it. Brookie's got other ideas. The central defensive midfielder goes for a little run. Gives it to the Don. Back sticks is on. Lucas had time to take it down, but Harry Newman's made something of it. Of course he has. Turns on a sixpence in the box. Slots that ball home from close range. It is first blood Heritage, and it is their leading goal scorer, Harry Newman. Much better second half from Heritage. They take the lead. EXITO not done too much wrong other than give the Don space. He picked out that pass to Lucas at the back post. Thought he made the wrong decision. He had time to knock it down, I think. Oh, the Don behave. It's so good to watch. Finds Bradwin on the overlap. Dorse, though, good recovery from him. Beats his man as well. Ball's going to go down the line, but Worryingly for EXITO, the Don is getting into full stride. Speaking of full stride, here is Smudger breaking through, bearing down on goal. Gets absolutely bodied, nothing given. I think if he had gone down, he's not going to be happy about that. Oh, good ball into Smudger. Oh, gives it. He's got it in return. Blocked first time. Here is Sam. Tries to break through. Brookie is there. Sea of black shirts. I think the good thing for EXITO is they're still making chances. They're not out of this game just yet. However, here is the goal scorer, Harry Newman, looking to maybe dent the confidence and put this game to bed. The ball down the line finds Smudger's feet like a traction engine, but he was well marked, to be fair. I'm not sure that is on the left-hand side. It might be Diego. I said who was playing left centre-back, and it is him. Good defending from him. Straight offside. EXITO will restart. League leaders, EXITO. Just the one loss so far in 10 this season. The other one was on stream as well, so like I said, we're not taking the blame for this. Right, they got 15 minutes. I don't think this one's going to finish 1-0, truth be told. Rackers does well, although it's given straight back to the Don. Sean digs his side out, and Chris has gone for a run. Beats his man, cuts back, probably the right decision. Back post, Diego heads home. Who is this Diego guy? An astute signing for Heritage. That or he's playing under a different name, and we know who he is. That tends to happen a lot in VPG. Here's the cameraman, MXCR. EXITO need to get something cooking because time is running out, as Muse once said. Ball goes over the top. It's been such a role reversal. It was Heritage doing that more in the first half. EXITO have kind of taken a leaf out of their book, and it's been Heritage on the deck so far, and they've looked good. They've looked good value for this 1-0 lead in the second half for sure. I don't think EXITO could argue that, even the most hardcore EXITO fan. Yayan wins it high up, gives it to Smudger, waiting for that overlap maybe. I mean, the man went to ground tackling him. I don't think it was a foul, but they will get a throw-in, which I feel like is a happy medium. They keep possession. I tell you what, it's not the first time I've seen a throw-in almost just thrown in because they kind of have to. How has he dug that one out? Headed down. Smudger on the overlap. Gets it down. Big save from Zinni. Tips it round the post as well. He was the player on rushing. Looked like he might win it. Sam at the back post headed it into his run. Edge of the box. It's going to fall to Sean R. The cameraman is not helping us out right now. Ball gets played in. Diego is there again. Big shouts for man of the match for that man. Sean R. Lewis FIFA, who dug that cross out initially, and what a ball it was. Harry Newman, the striker, the match winner, back there doing his defensive duties. Look at that. An inspiration to all you young strikers out there. Ball gets thrown in, finds Diego's head, not for the first time tonight. We've got 2 minutes of this stream left. Jack Hutch will have to concede the corner. Dispossesses Smudger, but at the expense of a corner. And if I'm EXITO, I'm filling this box. There's only 3 or 4 players in there. Is that all they need? Maybe it is. Big save from Zinni with the feet. And again, he's definitely got footwork plus on. It's going to fall to MXCR. Gives it to Rackers. Back post, there's 2 of them there waiting. For some reason, he's decided to swing in, and that is the biggest clearance I have ever seen in my life. And that is exactly what Heritage need. They win this game 1-0 by the skin of their teeth. Zinni, surely he's got to take man of the match for that. 2 massive saves, massive saves. Gets his side over the line. It was a Harry Newman goal. That wins it. Very, very good second half to make up for quite a dull first half. They won't mind me saying. I feel like every time there is a slow first half, the second half then blows up, you know? Because that's exactly what happened there. Congratulations to Heritage. Commiserations, of course, to EXITO. Don't start to paint us like the bad omen, please, please. But it's certainly starting to look that way. Apologies from us. Right. Just letting everyone know that we are ready. We don't want to miss any action, do we? Or do we? We don't. We don't. Right. Hopefully this stream's a little bit better. And it looks like they're sending the invite over now. So let's quickly talk about the teams. Wizardry, 4th place, taking on 5th place Black Sheep. Wizardry are the only unbeaten side in this VPG UK Premier League? Premier Table? Premier League sounds too official. In the UK Premier, they are the only unbeaten side. Played 8, won 4, drawn 4. They are 9 points behind leaders EXITO, although we've just seen those guys get beat. So maybe there is grounds to be made up because they've also got 2 games in hand as well. They are the UK Championship champions, so newly promoted this season. They are currently 17th in Elite B, which, bearing in mind what a good VPG UK Premier season they're having, surprises me because Black Sheep are 3rd in the exact same lead. No losses in those 13 games in Elite B, which is the 2nd tier of VPG Europe. Black Sheep beat them 4-0 on Tuesday in that Elite B. It's time for retribution for these Wizardry boys. Here we go then. Straight into it. This is what we like to see. Off we go. Wizardry in the all black. Black Sheep, annoyingly not in black. They are in the gold of Real Madrid. Doherty, early shot, an early save from Cheatham. That ball's going to go sailing over his crossbar, but again, it's another fast start. Doherty with the shot. I tell you what, it had venom on it. Black Sheep, though, we didn't get a chance to talk about this Black Sheep lineup. Every time I see this lineup, they play the 4-3-3, which I absolutely love, by the way. And speaking of things I love, that ball to Muzzy on the overlap finds Kano, who finds not TM at the back post. Had his pocket pinched in the nick of time if you are a Wizardry player. Here is Bailey inside to Ellis at the base of that midfield, and this 4-3-3 already cooking. Muzzy on that right wing, knocked down by TM to Kano, who's playing centre forward tonight. Midfield 3 of Nimmer, Ellis and Mo Arsenal. Tell you what, not many better front threes. They're cooking. They are cooking already. Wizardry having to do a lot of tracking back. Lee Jacko on the overlap from right back, swings it in with the left foot. Spacey clears. Does find Jacob, who puts his foot on it because Wizardry were just under the cosh a little bit there. And now they're playing through the thirds nicely. Here is Josh. Played a 4-3-3 of their own, actually. I've just noticed. Here's Tommy, very tidy player. Ellis blocks the first one, clears the second one, gives it to his gaffer, Mo Arsenal. The gaffer for Wizardry then picks it up. Loose ball picked up by Tommy. Space opening up. Rides the tackle from Ellis. Back post is on. Goes Jacob straight down the pipe for Cheatham. A lot easier than that first shot he faced. But 2 saves. Bailey. Good feet from him. Kano slides it through to Muzzy. Cuts onto the right foot. And I tell you what, it was a good tackle, but I've also seen those given as fouls before. It wasn't a foul. I'm not suggesting it was a foul, but I have seen those given where they tackle from behind. It's a fair tackle. They win the ball, but the player goes down. Muzzy again. Kano is offside. A very, very fast start to this game, both sides. I mean, 4th and 5th in the VPG UK Premier. You would expect it. And Muzzy again. Been on fire this first 20 minutes, although he got the commentator's kiss of death. Jacko swings in, back post is on, not TM is there. Bailey picks it up, edge of the box. Roos is there, but Ellis, one of the best in the business at CDM, gives it to his gaffer, who gives it to Keno. It's going to fall back to his gaffer. Fount is there in the nick of time. Not for the first time tonight. Someone's had their pocket pinched right at the last second. Something's got to give. Something has to give. I feel like a goal here just sets the cat amongst the pigeons, you know? Ball over the top. Kano's not even going to grace it with chasing it. Here is Fount. Gives it to his gaffer, Roos. Spacey goes long. But we'll find the head of, again, one of the best in the business, Zyner. Bailey. Looking for Muzzy, why not? Smithy finds Striker's feet. Doherty to Josh. Cuts it back to Smithy, but Bread Sheeran is there. Down the line it goes to not TM. It's 4v4. Goes back post. Forced it a little bit. It's going to get picked up by Ellis. Jacko this time from fullback. Kano rides the first tackle, but Fount is there once again. He's having a good first half. Jacko into Mo Arsenal. Gives it to Bailey, who I do believe is Nimmer. Because I haven't seen Nimmer's name. And Bailey is playing a lot like Nimmer. A.K.A. very well. Tommy. Good ball from him. Down the line to Busy. Cuts inside. Gives it to Docky. I tell you what, I don't think he wanted it there. The cut inside almost took him into the same path. And I don't think Busy expected to be there. The ball was so good from Tommy. Here it goes Jacob. Edge of the box. Tommy finds Busy again. Oh, he's put it wide. Oh, Tommy, what have you got to do to get an assist, boy? Not give it to that man, apparently. Two world-class through balls from Tommy in centre mid. None of them put away. Both of them fell to the centre midfielder, and you've got to think if they fall to any one of that front three, maybe, just maybe, Wizardry are a goal up here. Or 2 goals up even. Alas, Nimmer into Kato's feet. Slide rule pass. Spacey, good tracking from him. Clears. Chambers did think about coming for it. Nimmer tries to beat his man on the halfway line. And Wizardry will recycle it. Funds into Tommy's feet. He's having a cracking game as well. Viner heads it down. Recycled nicely by Black Sheep. Unbeaten in that Elite B. But 2 losses in the UK Premier for Black Sheep. And like I said, Black Sheep 4, Wizardry 0 on Tuesday of this week. Wizardry looking for some kind of retribution. I mean, we'd like 4 goals. We had a lot of goals on Tuesday. Not so many at the moment, just the one in the last game. None so far, but it's not been through one to try. And I tell you what, I didn't even see the timer get to 45 there. I think it got to 45 like on the dot. Either way, it's one of those halves we don't want it to end because I think it's going to take the sting out of things. I think both sides are just going hammer and nail at it, and it's great to watch. I have no idea how it's still 0-0. But sometimes pro clubs be like that, yo. And I tell you what, I do know why. It's because there's been very good defending on both sides. Very good attacking play from both sides, and you would expect that as well because, again, the formations as well, the 4-3-3s in this day and age of pro clubs. I love to see it. 4-3-3 playing against a 4-3-3. That's why it's such a good game. Obviously filled with 22 very good players as well. That helps. But both of these sides just going for it, and they deserve more from this game. So let's hope they get it by way of lots and lots of goals. Here we go. Kick-off from Black Sheep. Left to right in the orangey all-gold kit. Gives it to Muzzy. Smithy is there. Sammy picks it up. Good feet from him. Finds Muzzy down the line. This right winger has had a hell of a game so far. Nothing to add to his stats though, worryingly. Not TM. Shifts it onto that right foot. Blocked. The clear. I was going to say the ball over top. It was a clearance in the end. It's gone straight out. Bread Sheeran will restart us with a throw. And I think it's the first throw-in I've seen today that actually went to a teammate's feet. Tried to speed burst down the line, by the way. Ran into an absolute brick wall, but he's got it back here. Again, Nimmer on that far side, showing his frustration a little bit here. Tommy tries another world-class ball, and Tommy finds another world-class ball. The rest of his team are not on the same wavelength at the moment. The man is supplying. There's no demand. Mo Arsenal, the gaffer for Black Sheep, can't find a way through. Funds is there. Jammers, I mean, someone's got his arms up in the air, and rightly so, to be fair. Jammers has just nailed that out. Funds picks it back up. Tries to go down the line. Dispossessed. Kano swings it in first time. Spacey does really well because he gets absolutely manhandled for his trouble as well. Mo Arsenal. Did Jacko stay on side? Yes, he did. Is it going to lock the correct person on? Just about. The right back wearing number 8. Things you love to see in pro clubs. Headed into Not TM. The left winger coming in. Very narrow to pick that one up in the box. Can't make it stick. Ball over the top again. Brett Sheeran, one of the best throw-in takers in the UK Premier, apparently. 3 for 3 in this half. No for 3 in the last game. Docky tries to go past Ellis. Easier said than done, but rides the tackle. That's one way to do it. Josh had loads of time on the edge of the box there. Instead gives it to Tommy, which is very, very good. I would advise you to do that. Another quality ball in from that man. Kano, time to pick it up and turn. Beats 2. Out wide it goes to Mo Arsenal. Tommy, man of the match easily. Easily man of the match. Another interception from him. Here is the Wizardry gaffer with space to run into. Swings it in, I tell you what. It's just, something's just not ticking for Wizardry this second half. Unless they give it to Tommy. Oh, Fountain. Good tackle. To be fair, that's it. It's a bad shout on Fountain. He's having a very good game at left back. Mo Arsenal drops the shoulder nicely. Gives it to Kano. Tries to force it over the top to Muzzy. All getting a bit sloppy in this second half. Josh holds it up nicely, but Brett Sheeran is there. Gives it to his left winger, Not TM. Beats the first. Kano, good tackle on the edge of the box. Wins it back for Black Sheep. Fountain there again. The only player who's challenging Tommy for man of the match right now. Wairoos, that's a ball and a half. Wairoos been watching Tommy. Here is Tommy, speak of the devil. Swings it in, it's inviting, but see Sammy on the volley, acrobatically clears it. 70 minutes gone. Ghost Jacob, left winger for Wizardry, will restart us, and Chieftain just about keeps it in. 20 minutes to go. Nimmer down the line to Not TM. Kano dropping very, very short. That's a centre forward. 80 yards away from goal. Tommy with interception number. I don't know how many. I've lost count. Switches the play, inviting that man to come onto it. Lee Jacko positioning was top notch. Judged that to a T. Good header. Attacking and defending. Full backs for this Black Sheep side. 2 of the best all-rounders, I would say. Foul. Tommy, that's a ball through, and it looks like it's going to make it. It is going to make it, Josh. Oh, what a tackle by Zyder. I said in the first half, he's one of the best in the business at what he does. I also said in the first half that people are having their pocket pinched left, right, and centre. That was an absolute crime, that was. That is pickpocketing 101. Not TM, speaking of crime. Just had some GBH, nothing given. But that ball from Tommy once again. Docky does well. Good tackle, but ultimately gives it back, and they're out of shape now. Not TM looking to pounce, breaks into the box. Funds does his best Viner impression. Makes the tackle in the last second, but at the expense of a corner. 10 minutes to go. Black Sheep have a game in hand over Wizardry and are just a point behind. So a win here will take them above them in the league. Fine. See Sammy's feet. Oh, it's fallen too. I don't even know who that is. But it was straight at Jammers and he held the ball. So fair play to him. I'm trying to track who it is, but I've completely lost track of the man running back. But either way, massive opportunity for Black Sheep in the final 10 minutes. Point blank range. Just leathered it straight at Jammers. Don't think he knew too much about it, but the positioning was top notch, so fair play. Held on to it nicely. Good knockdown by C. Sammy as well. Spacey into Smithy. Tommy, the danger man. Probably first misplayed pass, and Zaina this time. Showing us he's not just a no-nonsense centre-back. And we've seen him playing CDM as well, to be fair. Man can do it all. Takes it down nicely. Gives it to Mo Arsenal. Kano. Off to Nimmer. That's a ball and a half. Muzzy takes it in his stride. Great touch from him. Cuts inside, puts the man down. Jammers with the save. The man goes down again for the second time. And it's all Black Sheep in this final 10 minutes. Can Wizardry weather the storm? Ball comes in. Jammers. Good punch from that man. Muzzy lays it off to Kano. Heavy touch, but stabs it in goalwards. Spacey is there. It's going to come straight back via Lee Jacko. Ball comes back in. Funds heads it down to Fountain. He did not want it there. I think the header was supposed to go back to the goalkeeper. Viner does well. Gives it to Ellis. Sees Sammy. Gives it to his gaffer, who loses out to Doherty. Tries to slide it through. Went for the killer pass, but Brett Sheeran is there defending. Wins the header. Gives it to Kano. He's in. Pocket pinch. Muzzy gives it to Kano again. Jammers with a massive save. It's an absolute goal line scramble. Nothing for it for Black Sheep for not the first time in this final 10 minutes. Wizardry are living life on the edge here. And as you can see, that top left-hand corner, time has gone. They're going to get one more chance. See, Sammy heads it down. Muzzy, I don't know what the game was making his character do there. He will not appreciate it. That second half was fantastic. It's probably one of the best 0-0s I've ever seen. Two great halves of football. In particular, that second half was fantastic. It's just... we had a game like this on Thursday, whereby two teams just played some really, really good football. And sometimes when you see that on stream, you've just got to take your hat off. It doesn't matter what the scoreline is. I mean, we all love we had loads of 3-2s on Tuesday. We'd like one of those. But it was a very, very good game. I won for the purists because it was 0-0. But I tell you what, Black Sheep were knocking at the door. They weren't even knocking at the door. They were kicking down the door. They had grenades. They had rocket launchers. Wizardry, fair play. And sometimes when luck is not on your side, it's just not on your side. No repeat of the 4-0 from Tuesday. Wizardry, I mean, I think with those last 10 minutes, they probably would take a draw there. Just from the last 10 minutes alone. But a very, very good game. Both sides. It's what we expect from two sides. Wizardry and Black Sheep. So GG's both sides. Time to move on. Time to move on. I tell you what, we are absolutely miles away from being anywhere near ready for this next game, because Temptation are in the 5th minute of their game. And they are playing Digital. Let's see where Digital are. Vine is in the chat. CBA. I don't blame you, mate. I do not blame you. I don't really know what more you could have done. I have no idea. I tell you what, I have no idea what that animation was for Muzzy. That's wild. The ball just hit him. That would drive me crazy. Let me... Digital in the 84th minute, which is probably more what I was expecting. Let me speak to them when they are done, because I have no idea why Temptation are going into a game at 8:45 when they have a 8:45 game. Things you'd love to see. Right, until that happens, here is match number 3. And it's the Super Cup final. It's not. It's the VPG Esports Premier. But it is the Super Cup final, because it is XTENTATION, the Champions E-League winners from a few weeks ago. Don't forget, $2,000 for winning that as well. So, big time ballers at the moment. Doing well. Newly promoted XTENTATION as well. Newly promoted, and they're currently 7th. Which in this league is really something to cheer about. a top half finish in this league is really, really, really something to be proud of. These guys got promoted. They added some big time ballers to their team, to be fair. They went and won the Champions League, and they're doing bits. They're doing bits. We saw them quite a lot in the first week, and they played really, really well and just could not get the dubs. And it's very, very, and that leads me perfectly, by the way, to Digital, who are, again, if you watch this stream regularly, you'll know they're one of my favorite sides, if not my favorite side. They are a team very, very used to playing very well and not getting the results. They have turned that around this season. They are first in the league. They didn't play well on Monday. They did get beat. So I feel like whilst they've turned a corner and they're getting results, when they don't play well, they're also not winning anyway. So just go back to what you did last season. Play well at least. But they're just finishing their game now. So let me find out where... Absco is in the 27th minute. So just trying to manage some expectation there. Apologies. But yeah, I mean, that does lead me to the league table. Digital, as you can see, sat top there. That one loss in their last 5. I mean, they're unbeaten in 6 in all competitions, so they're in pretty good form. But that result, I'm hoping for their sakes, against Europa, it wasn't just the result, it was the performance as well. It was one of the worst Digital performances I've seen, because their standard is so high. So it's like I would expect from a Fama or a Gmask. I mean, Gmask played poorly as well on Tuesday, mostly because Prolific made them. But you know, when you set these high standards, when you are a side that competes at the highest level of pro clubs, when you're not in form, it's much more noticeable. I think Digital will just be looking to get back on the horse after that performance. That was Monday, so obviously since then they've been absolutely fine. 3 dubs in a row. Like I said, unbeaten in 6 in all competitions. Yeah, good things for Digital this season. Just the 2 losses from 15 and a plus 20 goal difference as well. So it's theirs. I don't say it's theirs to lose at the moment, but they're the pace setters at the moment. Of course, they've got Fama close on their tail. They've got 2 games in hand. They've usually got games in hand. Obviously, if they win both of those, then yeah, they're going to be the front runners. They're going to be the pace setters. But Digital, I think after their start last season, the fact that they are sat in first right now, because like I said before on stream, they are the ones who finished bang in form at the arse end of last season, and this season they just carried on that form. So if they can keep this form going right through the season, I think they'll be there or thereabouts, because other than Monday, which like I said might have been a blip, there's not many sides who are, 1, playing as well as them, but 2, just picking up results. I mean, I'm just looking down the league now. We have got sides who I expected big things from this season. Fluminense in 23rd. Even PMI 21st. Rote is probably the biggest one. Rote and For the Win are the biggest ones. 15th and 14th. That Rote form. Their last 5 games, lost 4, drawn 1, won none. It can. This league has the potential to swallow you alive if you're not careful. So Digital they'll be happy that they had a much better start than last season, because they know this 11, 12, 13, you know, that very core they've got going through the side. They know they can do it because they proved it last season. Yes, they had a bad start. I'm going to say 75% of the season they were brilliant and they were picking up results. This season they've started like they finished last season, And like I said, Monday, I think the beauty of that is the beauty of Monday. I don't think they can play any worse than they played on Monday. And they only got beat by a very good Europa side. 1-0. I think that's probably the biggest compliment I could pay to them. So, let's talk about XTENTATION then. 7th, Champions League. Champions E-League champions. 1 loss in 16, and that was their last game before tonight. So the last game on Tuesday they lost. Before that they were unbeaten in 15 games. Eskrova is their top rated. He is their central centre back tonight. It's a who's who of talent, as you would expect for Temptation. Absco up front, he's moved from his wide midfield / winger position to play up top this season, and he has repaid the gaffer with 6 goals, 2 assists from centre forward. And who is GZ is always my one to watch. Had a very, very good first week. It's the first time I've seen him play, but like I said, we watched XTENTATION play 4 or 5 times that week, so I got to watch him quite a lot. He's a little magician in cam, so look out for him. He's got 4 assists, 2 goals in this season's esports premier. And to be honest, when you're pick, I know that doesn't really sound a lot, does it? But when you're doing it against the best sides out there, it does make a big difference. Like I said, Digital then, Europa League champions, taking on the Champions E-League champions. They beat, who was it? Team 7? 8-1 on aggregate on Wednesday night to lift that. So they'll get a bit of money for that as well, and some silverware. So good on Digital, sitting top of the league and a bit of silverware. Like I said, unbeaten in 6 in all competitions. Did get beat by Fama as well, which is a bit heartbreaking for those guys because they are so close to them in the league table. So again, they'll be looking to bounce back. Just the 2 losses this season that were against Europa, which we saw on stream, and then Fama, which, to be honest, Fama are going to beat a lot of teams this season because they're very good. But the usual suspects again. I like it when, and it's usually the teams towards the top end of this league, the teams that put out the same 11 or the same 12, 13 players week in, week out. And it is Cruz, ever present. Suso, who is being marked as one of the best in the business at the moment, so keep an eye on him. Jeff and Zambi, again, just 2 of the best in the biz. Albo and Sanji, 2 very, very different players. Sanji is your holding midfielder. Albo is your action man, your all-out box to box. He'll sit in there again. He won't mind me saying, he's probably watching now. Not the best of games on Monday. Picked up that early booking. I think it affected him. He'll be looking to put some wrongs right tonight, and he's the one that they give that free, a bit of a free role, but certainly at least a bit of freedom to join the attack from centre midfield, that late arriving midfielder, kind of like an old school Stevie G. Neymar, the new signing this season, he can play up front, but he's playing on wide midfield. And tell you what, XTENTATION have turned this around so quickly. That, or I just have been talking for a very long time, because they've been sent. So we're getting into the game, which is really good news, boys and girls, because I really didn't want to carry on talking any longer. Chris Boras, big shout out to him. Was an absolute magician in that Champions League final win. Rage Aragold, D the G, and Calvin, that front three for Digital that have been so potent so far this season. And of course, Dresch completes the lineup for Digital. Here we go then, boys and girls. Good turnaround time that, actually. I'm quite impressed. 22 is the magic number. 22 is what we've got. So let's let this one unfold right before our very eyes. It is Temptation in the all-white, Digital in the all-black kit from right to left. Top of the table, Digital in what is essentially a Super Cup. GZ gets it down the line to Kaluga. Suso steps in, living up to expectations very early on. Neymar loves a goal. Almost finds a goal early on. 2 minutes 30 on the clock. Left-footed strike goes past that left-hand post of Chris Boras. And Temptation had the kickoff and almost conceded in the first 2.5 minutes. Wouldn't have gone down well, I'm sure. Mister finds DJ, who slides in. Absco gets absolutely muscled off the ball by Jeff. Zambi goes long. Flicked on by Rage, who's had a cracking season so far. Here is that man with the cracking season. Neymar has looked lively so far. Can play up front, playing wide midfield. A great signing from a side who needed more goals in the ranks, to be fair. Ooh, I was going to say flicked on, but Zambi does well. Rywak recycles it nicely for the men in white, the Frenchman. XTENTATION. Over the top it goes. Headed down by DJ. Finding Absco again, who started deep. Quip heads it down to Rywak. He was in the box. He comes out of the box to swing a ball into the box. Neymar back there defending. Kaluga has his pocket pinched, but pinches it back. Taken down nicely by Quip. Good work from him. Sanji can't clear, but Jeff can. And something's been given. Oh, I tell you what. I had a sneaky suspicion there. He was going to point to the spot. It's gone the other way. I didn't see what it was really for anyway. 2 players went down. Apparently could have gone either way, but it does go in the way of Digital. And just under the cosh a little bit. Since that early Neymar chance. Calvin tries to squeeze it through. Mister does fantastically well, though. Absco plays a 1-2 with GZ. Good partnership between those two so far this season. Absco sends a man for a Twix. Cuts inside. Good work from him. Right-footed pass. Cut out by Albo. No freedom for him so far because he's been stuck doing the defensive work, which I'm sure he loves doing, of course, but I'm sure he loves doing this more. Bursting forward, trying to beat a man, but Quip is there. GZ tries to squeeze it through. Suso is there this time. Sanji intercepted by Beast, and he'll just put his foot on it. I think they needed that. I needed that, to be fair. A good opening 20 minutes so far in this VPG Esports Premier game. It is Temptation 7th place, taking on the league leaders, Digital, the Germans. Kip. Suso again. I think that's interception number 3. It's been 21 minutes gone. D the G, who is supposed to be playing up front, dropped very, very far back. We're seeing that a lot this week. Strikers dropping very, very deep. Absco does well for his side, wins it high up. Kaluga, power shot from the edge of the box. Cruz in that tall man goalkeeper build, stretches across to that left-hand side. Tips it wide for a corner. Good effort from Kaluga. Near post it is. Mister in. Cruz with the initial save, and Sanji stopping a certain goal. Plays it down the line to Calvin. Neymar with players running in behind. Doesn't spot them. Holds on to the ball though. Now gives it to Calvin, who offloads it early doors to Rage. Sanji, the CDM up high. Calvin tried to flip-flap his way through. Big tackle from Snatch. Edge of the box needed to be timed perfectly, and it was. End-to-end stuff at the moment. Just missing a goal. Sanj. Rage, good turn. Slides it through to Calvin, and Beast. Rush of blood to the head. Goes behind his own goal for a corner. Not what he would have wanted. Ball comes in. Near post is the target again, but Mister is there for his second header in short succession. GZ decides not to go forward. Comes back, keeps the ball for the Frenchman. The Champions E-League winners. Good feet from him. I mean, he got the advantage. It should have gone back because the pass wasn't successful, but here we are. And again, Calvin's trip, nothing given there. Strange decisions. Over the top it is. Absco's found his man. It's Kaluga through on goal. Great stop by Cruz. Going to fall to GZ. Gets the shot off. Another big save from Cruz, but Absco, let's talk about that through ball to his strike partner. Cruz with the save with the feet. The animation didn't like it, but his positioning was spot on. Mister there again is the target from both sides, from both ends of the pitch. Winning everything in the air, as is that man Snatch. Headed on. Cruz didn't manage to take that one down nicely. I think it bobbled a little bit, and the header's gone back to Absco, who's been fantastic so far in this opening 37 minutes. Here he is again. Sanji, though, dispossesses him, does really, really well. D the G helps it on, but Beast is there to win it back for the Frenchman. Changing hands quite often in this game. It's a difficult game to commentate because it's end-to-end, but also the possession changing hands so often. I like it. DJ on the overlap, that far side, gets to the byline, crosses it in, stabs out for Kaluga. There he is. Power header at the back post. Had everything to do. DJ stood it up for him, and Kaluga has slotted it home. It was a big celebration as well. He had so much to do there. The neck muscles on that man. Powers it home in the air against a world-class goalkeeper. Temptation take the lead, the home side. With this man, Kaluga. Great celebration as well. Right then, Digital. Second time this week on stream, they've found themselves a goal down. Again, a bit like EXITO. I hope they're not going to blame us. Bad omens on the stream. Beast to GZ. Good overlap from the man with the assist. DJ. Into the box it goes. Jeff clears. Into stoppage time of the first half, and that is going to be all she wrote for that first half. And I feel like the game needed a goal. It's got a goal now. We're just waiting for it to open up even more, because it was a very good first half of football. It was a bit more like basketball than actual pro clubs, but we're here for it. It was a good watch from a neutral point of view. Probably frustrating from either manager's point of view, because they kept the ball well until that final third and just couldn't get it working. Especially Digital. They played some really good football up until that final third. And I think when they commit the men forward, Digital, they look very, very good. But with Temptation, at the moment, they're giving it to those two strikers, Kaluga and Absco, and they're making a lot happen. And I think that's the difference at the moment. D the G needs to stay a bit higher up. Calvin needs to stop dropping off and stop playing it back. Put the foot on the ball. Let the rest of the team get up and support them. Because at the moment, I think Absco and Kaluga are kind of showing them how it should be done. Kaluga's got his goal, of course. But just occupying those two centre-backs, I think, will go a long way for this Digital side. And something has to give, because a loss here is not what Digital need, because they are top of the league. They want to keep it that way. They want to keep the pressure on the likes of Famalicão, who did beat them earlier on in the week as well. So they've got a lot to prove at the moment if they want to stay in this title race. At the moment, they are leading the dance, but they're not leading this game. 1-0 to the opposition. D the G cuts inside, gives it to Sanji. Good press from Neymar. It seems like a long time ago that he had that shot that just whistled past the post. Since then, not too much for this man, Chris Boras, to do in the Temptation goal. Headed on, Absco, Kaluga, combining once again. GZ, who's having a good game. Taking his sweet time. First time ball into Kaluga. First time ball, Neymar Jr. back there defending. D the G this time is occupying that central striker spot. GZ though, great press, gets it immediately from Absco, gets it back from the cab, and he's fired it home. What a finish that is against a world-class goalkeeper. Those two have just done it all by themselves, won the ball high up, exchanged passes, and he's rifled it home. 2-0 to Temptation, doubled the lead. Digital. Not too much they could have done with that. Yes, they lost the ball, but it was a good interception, and they just got punished. And you hear commentators say it all the time. if you lose the ball at this standard of football, you will get punished, and that's exactly what happened. That is exactly what happened. You gave it to two of the most dangerous players in the league, GZ and Absco, who just gets better week in, week out. Rage Aragol gives it to Dresch, lined one up. Rywak is there though. Good work from him. Tried to find the man down the line. Suso steps in. Ball given back though. And we've fallen back into how that first half looked. Lots of exchanges of possession. Rage gets to the byline. Good header from Mister. And flicked on by Kip. And as Digital go looking for a way back into this game, they can just see they're committing more and more men forward. And they have to. Otherwise, they're going to sink without a trace. Neymar can't get it under his spell. So Mister will take over. Down the line it goes to Absco, who wins it in the air. Is there anything that man can't do? Overlap on the left-hand side. He's going to get it. It's Absco. Squares it across. Suso is there. Rywak with the goal was just begging to be put away, and he couldn't. Mainly because it was very good defending from Suso at that back post. But again, another great move from XTENTATION. Yes, class versus AC STRENUA after this game. Should be bang on time, about 15:15. Down the line it goes, cleared, but only as far as Beast. GZ, they need to stop this man. They need to stop him. He's been fantastic. 20 minutes for the league leaders to get themselves back into this game. It's the second time we've seen them. They haven't particularly played like league leaders. D the G loses out on the edge of the box. Albo does well to recycle though. I mean, this is where we're going to see what mental capabilities this Digital side have. Can they dig out a result here without being at their best? We'll learn a lot about Digital in this next 18 minutes, boys and girls. 2v2 at the back, which you kind of expect now, but it's Kaluga and co. And I tell you what, I think this is Zambi. He's done fantastically well to hold off the man because he was running in behind. Albo finds Jeff, the emergency striker now. D the G is dispossessed by Snatch. It's been the tail of the tape so far. Absco again does so well. He's such a handful. GZ to Kaluga. And I tell you what, the knockdown for Absco is there. And I bet you any money he's telling him that right now. I bet you any money he is letting Kaluga know. At 2-0 up, you can't blame him to a certain extent. But 3-0 really sends a message to the rest of this league. 3-0 against the league leaders would have been sweet. Ball goes over the top. They might get it. Tried to pass it this time. Cruz halfway line it is. D the G wins it. Rage left it for Sanji and gets it from him. Albo into Calvin's feet. Can't find anything through again. Rywak is there with the clearance. Going to come straight back at them though via Albo. This is a bit more like it for Digital. D the G drops the shoulder. What a ball that is. 6 and 7. Chris Bohr has literally just picked up a back pass. It's not going to matter though because EA have clearly not coded that into the game. Good work from Digital though. Escrow. To be fair, he's hardly had to do anything, Escrover. He's their top rated player, but I've hardly had to say his name. Mostly because Snatch and Mister have been phenomenal either side of him. But he's just kind of, he's been there. He's been present. He's got his clean sheet. His team are winning. He can play 40 yards behind everyone if he wants. That's what you get when you've got Absco, Kaluga and GZ on red hot form. Here, Absco winning headers again. What a game from that man. Pick any one of that front three, but I'll go with Absco for man of the match. Insane stuff. Kaluga, who got that first goal with that power header, the neck muscles. D the G. Good work from him. Edge of the box. It's not going to make its way through. It's been the story of this game for Digital. Albo stabs it over. Neymar on the chase. Mister will happily concede a corner. 30 virtual seconds left. effectively no time left, but if Digital can get a consolation here, which they can't, they let it run through to the man himself, Chris Moras. And it is the Champions E-League winners beating the Europa E-League winners 2-0. A very, very well-deserved win, especially with that man getting his goal when he did. It's just, what can, you know, sometimes we say this at this level, when you play against teams who are in very, very good form, regardless of what the other side does, it's just more than likely gonna be a win for that side who are playing so well. The problem for me as a Digital fan is the front three played very, very well. I think the rest of the side didn't need to play all that well to get that result. The front three were fantastic. The back two, Mr. and Snatch were brilliant. Other than that, it was I don't think Temptation needed to get out of second or third gear. The front three were in fifth, sixth gear the whole game, which was great. And again, the two centre halves. But I think when Digital watch that one back, I think they'll be annoyed at how they performed, because it was very, very similar to the game on Monday against Europa, where they just never really got going. And it's an 11, 12 or 13, give or take, who have fired this Digital side to the top of the league so far. So I'm not really sure what's not clicking for them, but this is the return of the old Digital, where they've got the players, but they're just not getting the results. And answers on a postcard, because they can never seem to put their finger on it, and I certainly can't ever seem to put my finger on it either. Right then, so we've got these boys next for the main event of the evening. Class taking on AC STRENUA. I'm just having a look at where both of these sides are. Let me have a look where Class are. They are in the 33rd minute. They're going to be a little while, whereas STRENUA are just finishing their game. They're in the 82nd minute. We've got a bit of time. I'll leave both of those up. Right then. Class 9th in the VPG Esports Premier, taking on 25th place AC STRENUA. So it's a brand new side for me. I've never seen these boys play before. One thing I will say is they've played a lot less games than everyone else. They're just on the 10 games, and for reference point, Temptation have played 16 and Digital played 15. So I expect them to move up the table when they start to kind of get to grips with the rest of their games. That being said, their current record is played 10, won 3, lost 7. No draws, which means it's got 0-0 written all over it. But like we always say on this stream, new blood on the stream is what we want to see. New players showing us what they can do in that spotlight. And speaking of new players for Class, Phoenix, a brand new signing, was at Fluminense last season. He's just scored in their first VPG Esports Premier game against Braunschweig, by the way. So a big goal there. Confusion at the back. He's popped that in there. 1-0 just before halftime. I think STRENUA game is about to finish on 1 apiece. Just waiting for this corner to come in, I can confirm. But Josh Chapman is missing tonight as Phoenix comes in. So a big miss for Class, because he is their top goal scorer. 7 goals and 4 assists. Any side's going to miss that. Any side's going to miss that. Of course they are. But like I said, brand new signing with Phoenix. He's got that VPG Esports Premier experience, and also he's a very good player as well. And like I said, just scored in that first game as well. Class 9th, played 12, won 6, drawn 3, lost 3. So just above mid-table, which I think, given that Class finished 19th last season, They continuously perform well in the UK Prem. I don't think we've seen Class in a VPG Esports Premier game in a very, very, very long time. I don't think we saw them last season. So it would be good to see those boys in Europe taking on some European opposition. The Norwegian side, STRENUA, like I said, brand new to me, maybe brand new to the stream. One player who's not brand new to me though is Mads Pitbull, who was knocking around at one of Aaron DeLosa's sides. So I've actually played with him before. A very, very good play. Played right midfield that night, but has been moved to striker, and 17 and 30 last season as STRENUA got promoted from Elite A into this VPG Esports Premier. So that Elite is tier 2. This is obviously tier 1 where the big boys are. So STRENUA newly promoted, hence maybe why they're towards the bottom of the table, I guess. But that puts them on 10 points from 11 now. And they're only 3 points off safety. Before a ball was kicked today, 3 points off safety. So it just goes to show, once they play those games in hand, maybe, who knows. But we'll get a good look at them tonight. We'll let you know how likely it is that they're likely to march up the table or not. But Class, 1 win in 4. That includes 3 losses, and of course one of those losses was on stream on Tuesday, 3-2 against Aaron DeLosa's Focus. Matched only by AC STRENUA, 1 win in 4 with 3 losses. So both of these sides coming into the exact same form. Like I said, Phoenix in for Class, the old Fluminense striker. Class Doyle, last time we saw them, last time we saw him, he had 1 goal. He's now on 4 goals as Josh Chapman drops out. So he's stepped up when he's needed to, but it is their goalkeeper and their central centre-back who are their top-rated players, Logan and Captain America. Shisui Shiki he's moved over. I thought he was just moving over for the UK Premier games. He's moved over for Europe games as well, so it's a very, very good signing. Class are a side who always sign good players. I don't know how they do it. Class Doyle's obviously got the gift of the gab, but I mean, Class is a very great, it's an honor to play for those, of course it is, but they're getting in some very, very good players. So that back four, very, very interesting because it's very strong for UK Premier. Let's see what it can do in VPG Esports Premier, because like I said, we haven't seen Class in a very long time. Leview, world class. Caillou looked very good when we saw him on Tuesday, but effectively this Class side conceded 3 goals against that Focus side, so they'll be looking to maybe just to shut up shop a little bit today and maybe do a little bit better defensively. Wiltshire Perlo goes back out to wide midfield with Migan on the other side, and Addy as well, who played very, very well on Thursday. Moving over to Strenua now, and again, not too many players that I'm familiar with, but they've got Mads up front. They've got Dead Power, who is their top rated player. He goes by another name. It's like Megat Bra or something. He's the one to look out for tonight, I think. Mickelson is our cameraman tonight, so thank you very much. And Standel as well, I've been told, is a very, very good player in that CDM position, who at the moment I think might be the only... No, he's playing left midfield now, apparently, looking at the lobby. I'll just let you see what I can see by way of confirmation. So they've got everyone bar one player in there, so they're almost ready to go. Let me see what Class are doing. I mean, other than winning 2-0, they're in the 65th minute, so we've got some time to kill, which means I can read the chat. Josh has got some inside information. Thank you very much, Josh. Andy Zarlo at central centre back. I always say central centre back. If you're playing at central centre back, is that you have to be good. Like, there's no hiding place at central centre back. You put your best defender at central centre back usually. So yeah, I would fully expect that. Thank you very much for the inside information. Who else? Yeah, Christian agrees as well, to be fair. two people agreeing on an online chat. Come on, don't be crazy. Don't be crazy. Other than that, I mean, like I said, AC STRENUA promoted last season from Elite A. They've had to come into this season, and I always say, if you can survive in this league, great. If you can survive whilst playing some good ball, you know, because as you would expect, a lot of sides come up here and park the bus maybe, and there's not anything wrong with that. But also on the flip side of that, we see a lot of sides come up because they're used to winning in those elite leagues, those tier 2 leagues, and you know, they'll get over 100 points and over 100 goals. They'll come in and they won't change their play style, and then they'll play really, really well. And again, not to call anyone out, but the latest example of this is Soon came into the league last season, were fantastic. They had a brilliant season the season before. We saw them in the cup, they were excellent. Saw them in that first week of the VPG Esports Premier. They were unlucky. I think they got beat by GMask maybe, but they played really, really well, and we just kept seeing their results. It's cruel to see because they're such a good side, but ultimately they get relegated. So it's trying to find a balance between, yes, playing some really good football, of course, but also getting those results, because as we say week in, week out, this league, particularly this league, is a results business. And if you're not getting those results, then yeah, they're long old seasons anyway, but if you're not getting the results, they turn into very, very long seasons. Right, hyped for the game. Me too. I mean, it's the last game of the week. I don't like it when it's the last game of the week, because it means I need to wait until Monday until the next game. But and thank you very much for the compliment. On the other screen, there's 5 minutes left of this class game, so I'll give them a nudge. But it's 2-1, and what I'll do is pop that up for the last 5 minutes so you can see class getting over the line, because we're what, 10 minutes behind schedule, which isn't too bad. Teams have 15 minutes. I mean, what a coup. What a coup for class. That's a fantastic result. Last I checked, Braunschweig were 5th or 6th in the league. I mean, when we had them on, was it Monday? They were 2nd, I think. So they're in a bit of a free fall at the moment, but a great result for class. It's a great way to come into this game. STRENUA fans, be a little bit worried, because that is a very, very good result. I've asked these guys to turn it around nice and quick, so I'll let you know when they're back in. Here is the league table, though, which, like I said, there's a few shock positions in there. The likes of Fluminense, massively down in 23rd after such a good season last season. And then we look up, and I think the next shocking is probably Rope. 15th place, had a good start to the season. Always been a very, very good side, and some things just not clicked. 9th place class, though. Quite a few games in hand over a lot of teams around them at the moment. Confirmation that Braunschweig were 5th. In some pretty good form as well. Just the 2 losses so far this season. That makes 3 and 15. And then we've got STRENUA. No draws so far this season. They don't do draws. Just them and Fama. Oh, and the side above them. I don't know who IG are, actually. I should probably know, shouldn't I? Yeah, Fama don't do draws either. So at least STRENUA, you've got that. You've got that to compare to. But no, like you said in the chat, should be a very, very good game. I can't just leave it on this screen now because then you get complete up to date with what I am as well. Someone's DM me. Slowly but surely. Slowly but surely getting there. And someone's missing. Let me have a little look. Because that's a new person. That's the wrong game. Wiltshire Perlo looks like he's dropped out for Thock on that left midfield, or no, Wiltshire Perlo I do believe is half winger. Leview is there. Maybe it's Kaio missing because Migan is there. Addy, Phoenix, Class Doyle missing the 2 centre halves. See if we've got a is this HD enough for us? I'm not sure. Yeah, there is Captain America, so it's definitely Kaio that's missing. Do we want this stream or do we want the other stream? Let's have a look, shall we? Who's the home side? Class of the home side. Let's go with Mickerson's. Beautiful stuff. Confirmation that it's being sent over. Yeah, and confirmation that it is Kaiser that drops out. Thock comes in, plays left midfield, and for the second time, Wiltshire Perlo is not playing his native wide midfield position. How long have I been commentating for VPG? Ooh, that's a good question. So we've had this channel for about just over 2 years. We've probably been working for VPG for about 18 months, I think. But we do every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday stream. The usual VPG nights. There's usually 2 of us, but my co-Domino has him and his wife have just had a baby, so they're seeing to that at the moment. Right then, last game of the night. I hope they're not playing at the Wall Stadium, no. Class come into this, I was going to say, in a bit of form because they beat Braunschweig, but before a ball was kicked tonight, 1 win in 4 for both of these sides, so hopefully both of these sides are looking to change those fortunes tonight. But it's the last game of the week, so they should be putting on a show. They should be putting on a show. Whether they like it or not, I don't know. Right then, here we go. It is the away side kicking us off in the all black from right to left. And anyone who's watched Class before knows they love to play in this Malaga home kit. And if you're not good with kits, it's the blue and white stripes. New signing Phoenix gives it to his gaffer, Class Doyle. Addy on the overlap. There he goes, pass one. Gives it to striker's feet, but standout is there. Completes the clearance. The home side applying the pressure early on. Migan intercepts accidentally, I guess. The ball just hit him and Classdoor was offside. Restart with a free kick deep in their own half. STRENUA struggling to get out at the moment. Long throw. Headed down nicely. Anakai, I mean, he took it down nicely. It looked like a foul to me from up here, but what do I know? And Wiltshire Perlo is playing on the left side of defence, so what do I know? What do I know? Half winger is someone else, apparently. STRENUA restart with a throw and headed down to our cameraman. Wiltshire Perlo loses out to Anake, though. Breaks into the box. Cuts onto that left foot. LeVue is there, and Thok completes the clearance. Only as far as Asjas. Fakey into Anagai. Mads Pitbull is there, but Anakai is there as well. LeVue blocks, goes long, finds Thok's feet. New sign in Phoenix, slides it through. Those two combining well so far. Class Doyle cuts it back to Migan. Oh, he's put it wide at that far post, and there must have been a deflection or a save because it's a corner, and I didn't see it myself. Boricic may have got a save to it. Agard back post. That was some header. Was begging to be put away. Mads gets absolutely crunched by LeVue coming across from CDM. Faker recycles. Vaulted down the line to Mickelson. In it goes. Half wingers there though. Does well. Migan. Space opening up for this man. Class Doyle. Very dangerous operator. And Standel had space to run into, but Agard came across, shut it down nicely. Rambaros, good turn from him. Class Doyle is on him like a flash though, and Phoenix can't keep the ball for Class. Possession changing hands frequently at the moment, as somehow that ball stays in, and Anakai, so far so good for him. He has been the one to watch for STRENUA. Partner in Mads up front. Dropping quite short, though, I've noticed so far. Mads seems to be the one playing on the last man a little bit more. Ball comes in from Mickelson. You don't see that very often in competitive 11s. Normally it's a short one. And that might be why, because it's a goal kick. It's come to nothing. Captain America in gloves as a central centre-back. Not sure about that one, boys and girls. Here is Megget. Fakey, good turn down the line. This near side, Standel swings it into his opposite number, but Wiltshire Perlo is able to head back home. And like I said in the intro, Logan, highest rated player on this Class side. He is in phenomenal form at the moment, as Mads was getting back from offside. Clear red card. Perlo, when he's playing at centre-back, he almost plays a bit like a quarterback on that left-hand side of centre-back. He's got a left foot ping on him, and we know Class don't mind changing up their arsenal. They can go direct if they want to. They can also play through the thirds like this with Thok and LeVue. Swings it in. Good header from Az. Migan picks up, but Strand is there again. Megatbra does well, skins his man, and then gives it to Strand. Mads out wide, peeled off, has to come back. Just takes the sting out of that attack, and it's ended up on the complete opposite flank with the throw-in. 27 minutes gone. Nothing yet really to write home about. Here is half winger, 50 yards from goal. Gives it to the right-sided centre-back. You could tell he didn't want to ghost on, and he didn't. Migan, who dropped in as the right midfielder while they were a bit narrow. Phoenix takes it down, red times it. Zalo picks it up, puts his hands in the air because I don't think he was under too much pressure. They are the away side. There might be a little bit of delay. I mean, the stream is perfect. Now we can see in the right-hand corner there. I'm not sure you can see it on your screen. 41. it's an acceptable ping in this day and age, I think. Ads swings it through to Phoenix, gives it to his skipper, Class Doyle. This strike partnership coming up dividends. Of course it's that man. Of course it is. His 5th goal of the season, and I'm sure he'd like to put a few more away to add to that total. But for now, goal number 5 and goal number 1 for Class. 1-0. Mads lays it off to Standel. Gets it back from him. Near post was on. Holds it up nicely. 17 goals for that man last season in Elite A. Long ball headed down by Mickelson, the cameraman for tonight. Fakey tries to go long. Good block from Lemieux. Being hunted down now by Phoenix. Does go home. Kind of had to go home, really. Borochich out to Zalo. As to Meggett. Migan intercepts on the halfway line. 38 minutes down. 6 minutes to go in this first half. What Strenua would do for a goal. That's a ball to Mads. He's got Akers to run into. Should he want to instead? Gives it to Meggett. Holds off the tackle. Gives it to Aoki, but dispossessed, and now it falls at the feet of the goal scorer. Class Doyle gives it to his CDM Lemieux. They're in absolutely no rush at the moment. It's a results business, don't forget. Agard gives it to half winger, who's stepped in tonight for Kayo. Was named on the team sheet, and for some reason Lemieux has decided not to play that ball, but Class win it back though because they flocked to that. Standel tries to get it through to that front three, who were all just waiting there. If that had managed to trickle through, they're in danger, but Class deal with it, and to be quite honest, Class have dealt with this Strenua attack quite easily so far. Akoi, I think, has been the danger man for them. Mads has had a few decent touches. Mads seems to be the one play on the shoulder, but also I think he's struggling to occupy the 3 centre-backs. Aoki, I think, needs to just be pushed on a little bit further and let Meggett fill in that space that he's occupied and just get the whole team to push up a little bit more. Now they are a goal down. They probably kind of have to do something like that. Otherwise, it's going to be lights out early doors. If Class score again here early, I mean, yeah, Strenua have it all to do in the second half. But why not? They've got the fans in the chat. This is their first time on stream. Stranger things have happened. I mean, Class conceded 3 the last time we were on stream. Why not? Why not do it again? All to play for in this second half, both sides. 9th place Class taking on 25th place Strenua. The final half of this week. And are we going to get it? Are we going to get it? Wow. Oh, yay. Last Thursday was atrocious. Monday was alright. Tuesday was fine. Thursday had been okay. Thursday had been okay until this point. The last game of the night. Come on, guys. All that means, boys and girls, is we will just flip it over. We will go again another 45 minutes. If you ran your player into the ground in that 45 minutes, then fair play. You get your full stamina bar back. And then we'll just have to pretend that it's 1-0 to Class still in that top left-hand corner. But what more can you do, boys and girls? What more can you do? Should we redo the whole game, Josh? Totally non-biased Strenua fan. Stop the count. Gentleman's draw. Yeah. Someone was, who was saying something about the stadium before we actually got in? Is it one of the stadiums that's been banned? Because there's a list of stadiums going around at the moment. Stadia, should I say. They're on the naughty list. Was that one of them? Sarlo, saving the best till last, in he goes. I can't remember which, to be honest. I think the last, because I don't need to worry about Stadia because I'm not getting into games myself, but the last I saw there were only 2 on the actual list you were allowed to use or proposed to be allowed to use. So whether or not these guys have got that message or not, I don't know. Yeah, Josh, it has been said before. It has been said before. I'm going to choose to believe that they don't do it purposely. But yeah. I mean, to be fair, it's all got to be premeditated, so I didn't see anyone running around like a headless chicken either. For me, it's not being able to get the stats. Not being able to get the stats would kill me. I'm a stats man myself. And obviously, when I'm doing the research for the games, I like the stats. It's what I live off of. If I've got no stats, then just have to listen to me talking crap, unfortunately. I mean, I do that anyway, of course, but do we go and check in with class and see what they're saying? I'm not sure I've got their stream up. Yeah, central centre-back is the best position. Wide midfield is the hardest position by far. By far. I choose to believe they cheered. Dock them points. Dock them points. 3 points to STRENUA. I mean, they're the ones taking a while to get back in, so just saying. Just saying. I mean, this is probably a good time just to say, and just to remind everyone to make sure you are subscribed to the VPG channel, and of course the Pro Clubs Weekly channel as well. That is myself and my co-Domino. We're normally a crime fighting duo, just me this season. And then we've got the summer off, other than the LAN event, of course, which we will be there in Sheffield if you want to come and say hi. They say never meet your heroes, but do it. Alright, you can see what I'm seeing. So STRENUA in the black, class in that Malaga home kit. So close, boys and girls. So close to getting through the whole night. This close. Alas. Right. At least we got the magic number. 22 was what we were looking for. Let's do this again. The second time of asking. Everyone's got full stamina, which means we're going to get more goals. Because everyone can run faster and further. That's one way of looking at it, eh? Right, second half, it's 1-0 to class. Class in the blue and white, STRENUA in the all black. 9th plays 25th respectively. Here we go. Final virtual 45 minutes, looked to be offside, did give up the chase, but it's going to be pulled back anyway. STRENUA with possession, and they need a goal at the very least if they want to get anything out of this game. Drew their first game of the VPG Esports Premier tonight, 1 apiece. Whereas Class, 2-1 winners against 5th place Braunschweig, which very, very good result for those boys. Good result for anyone, to be honest. Mickelson hooks it to no avail. Wiltshire Perler will restart with the throw-in on that far side. Phoenix does get the better of his opposite number. Fakey is there though, good work from him, and beats the man and gets the part off. Great work from him. Megget gives it to Mads, but loses out, loses possession. Headed down by Thok, but Mikkelsen is there. Ball falls to Class Doyle, gets to the byline, blocked by Zalo. The fans will love that one. At the expense of a corner though, of course. Edge of the box, Zalo is there again. Oh no, Megget's not there though. Phoenix breaks inside the box, tries to dump one in, but Fakey was alert to it. Now I'm looking for Megget to see if he's come back. Early one, big save from Boricic. Agard with the header there. They're going to go for him again. Zalo again with the header. Thok takes it down nicely, swings it in to the feet of Class Doyle. Good turn from him onto the left foot, blocked initially. Megget is back because he made the clearance. Ads takes it down, looks for either one of the two strikers. Can't find either. Megget is there again, slides it through, but look at that. Class got 4 players back waiting. Chat's going crazy for Zalo. Lemieux steps in nicely, wins it. Sets his side off on another counter-attack. Phoenix holds it up well. Pirouettes and out to the left-hand side where Thok occupies. Chested down by Class Doyle. I thought he was going to head it down. There's nothing that man can't do. About 8 feet in the air, he's chesting the ball down. It's crazy. Good press from Phoenix, though. One-man band at the moment. Took it down nicely, too. Recycled it for his side. Swings it in. As is there. Good header, too. Aoki. Lemieux once more. And Fakey is looking like a tidy player. Good turn from him once again. Wiltshire Perlo, the initial clearance, headed on nicely. Thok 2v2 with lots of players supported. Breaks in the box, he's being tracked down, goes for the shot, finds the back of the net. What a finish that is from an almost impossible angle. Puts daylight between the two sides. Great finish, great POV as well. Side netting, Boricic. Not too much he could do about that one. 2 goals to the good. A good breakaway there. But the likes of Wiltshire Perlo, the likes of Lemieux, the likes of Phoenix, all working hard for this Class side. It's been instilled in them by the gaffer, Class Doyle. It's what you need if you're going to put on this Class shirt. That is why, boys and girls, that is why they were signed by Class in the first place. Half winger, good feet from him again. Sends 2 men to the shop for a Twix. Headed out, Mikkelsen. Aoki holds it up nicely, but there's got to be a time now where Strenua just say, we've got to go for it. We've got to take the brakes off, and we've just got to go for it. Is it now? Fakey into Aoki. Rides the tackle, but Wiltshire Perlo does well. Class Doyle all the way back there. Into the box goes Mikkelsen, the cameraman. Header back home. Agar gets in the way of it and then clears it. Good win there by Az. Mads wins it back. Oh no. Just a rush of blood to the head and Logan goes long. Free header by Dolch, but Thok, the goal scorer, does really, really well to read it. Class Doyle shifts onto that right foot looking for the 2 men breaking in. One of them is that man, Migan. Adds, skins his man. Oh, it's a big stop in the end by Boricic, because if it's 3, there is no coming back from that. Near post, Az is there again. Mads picks it up. They've got to go. They've got to go. It was the wrong pass, but they got away with it. 3v3. Aoki gives it to Megget. I don't really think they wanted it there. They've got to take their time with it when they get it. Yes, it's desperate times, but they just need to put their foot on the ball. They need to take a touch. That composure is lacking at the minute for this Strenua side. Mads, though, with some excellent composure, breaks into the box, almost teasing, tempting those Class players into a reckless tackle. Alas, he was tackled fairly and well. 2 left up by Class. They're not parking the bus just yet, even though there's 10 minutes left to go. Rambaros into Megget, who has looked good, to be fair, and That is what we call in the industry a professional foul, ladies and gentlemen. I do believe it was the gaffer, yeah. It stopped giving us confirmation of when people get booked, which is really annoying from a commentary point of view. But I can confirm it was Glass Doyle. Megget. Dispossessed. Half winger. Almost dispossessed. Lemieux has been sensational tonight, by the way. He has been, as has this man, Thok. Especially in the second half. He's got the goal as well. That's given Class a bit of breathing space. But truth be told, Strenua just... They've not created enough. Mads gives it to Ramboros. Not enough players want to put their foot on the ball, I think. Just really take ownership. And the players like Fakey who do want to do that have just got the ball so far away. The likes of Megget have got the ball and they've been 60, 70 yards away from goal and just been ineffective for that reason. So there's light there for Strenua for sure. They need to rethink these tactics, rethink some of these player positions maybe, because they've got the players. It might just be an off night for them, who knows. But comfortable stuff for the home side, and I do believe that is going to see us through all the way through to the final whistle. Confirmation that it was Class 2, AC STRENUA 0. Class by name, class by nature. A good 3 points for them. A very, very good evening in the VPG Esports Premier for those boys. 2 wins from 2. And, yeah, I mean, a very good performance. I said it at the half-time-ish stage. They didn't really need to get too far out of second or third gear. The way that this Class side is set up, like I said, the signings they make, they can just go and pluck talent out and they can fill the gaps that clearly they had tonight with some quality players. And all the players that they get in know exactly what they're doing. The likes of Captain America when he came in, the likes of Phoenix, they don't look out of place at all. And they're good players, of course they are, but they're class players as well. And games like that, for Class Doyle, it's a walk in the park for him, essentially. And very well played for Class. AC STRENUA, like I said in comms, I think there's some light there. They've got some very, very tidy players. It's a bit like Digital. They just need to get those very, very tidy players in and around the box and let them do tidy player things in and around the box. Easier said than done. Appreciate it, especially when you are playing against the likes of Lemieux, who was quality tonight, by the way. My man of the match, I think. But I do think coming up from Elite A last season, it's a big ask. But I saw enough from Strenua tonight to think that they'll be safe. They've got a few games in hands over the teams around them as well. So once they catch up in games, we'll assess them, but it'd be good to get those guys back on stream again. Class, as always, they know they're welcome anytime, and I'm sure we'll bump into them again next week. Right then, that is the end of week number 3. We are churning through the VPG Season 14 weeks. Thank you very, very much for watching. Thank you very much for stopping by. Make sure you are subscribed to this channel. Make sure you are subscribed to Pro Clubs Weekly as well. I am 8ball of Pro Clubs Weekly. And I will see you next Monday, 8 PM. Don't be late. Cheerio.